The Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny car series is known for the side-by-side racing, the 400 km/h plus passes, 0 to 100 k's in under a second. Let's have a look underneath the body and see what makes these cars go as fast as they do. A funny car has a wheelbase of just over 3 meters. Now there's 35 meters of chrome moly tubing which goes into making a bare chassis. You're talking 250 to 300 hours of work to put a bare chassis together and approximately $30,000. Now that doesn't include the engine, the diff, the fuel tanks, that's just the bare chassis itself. There's a lot of different things that affect the performance of a funny car chassis. Let's start at the front, the weight bar. Now we'll fill that weight bar up with anywhere from nothing to 40 kilograms worth of lead. And what that does is stop the car going into a wheel stand, keeps the front wheels on the ground, and I'll tell you, when you're doing 400 kilometers an hour, it's good to have these things on the ground to be able to steer. Now in the center of the chassis is the engine. The engine is the heaviest part of the car. So where we put this lump of mass is critical to making these cars perform well. If we put the engine too far back, it'll have lots of rear grip, but it will try and do wheel stands all the way down the racetrack. Put it too far forward, it won't do a wheel stand, but it'll have no rear grip. So it's about the balance of where you put that lump of mass, which will make these cars accelerate so fast. The most important part for the driver is the cockpit. It's all about being comfortable. You gotta have everything in the position so that you feel the most comfortable while you're hurtling these things down the racetrack. But it's not just about being comfy, it's about safety. Extra thick wall chrome moly, extra ISP head padding that goes on top of our race suits, our helmets, and all the other protective gear we wear to keep us safe if something does go wrong. Back of the chassis is the diff. The diff basically holds the meter-high Goodyear slicks, which allow us to accelerate these cars from 0 to 100 k's in less than a second. We can literally change hundreds of things on these race cars, but it's the smart tuners and the smart drivers that'll get their car down the racetrack in front of the guy next to them.